there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
Alright guys, as you can see, we've got water flowing. I finished off the 2 returns. And this light right now, just the 2 T5s are on and it's just plugged into the wall. I have nothing set up yet with the apex for this, and that's what we're going to be doing today.
Go, 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 yo, go, go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go, go.
It's going to be a long day. I'll take you guys through everything I'm going to do. We're going to get all the components for this tank programmed into the apex. I picked up a couple of EB8s. Sorry, Neptunes, but I just have more faith in EB8s than the newer power bars that are coming out today. So I was lucky enough to get a couple of them used and pick them up. So we're going to be getting those installed. Still have something going in place here, which I'm going to get the electrical prep for that. And we're going to get into this. One thing I want to show you is with your returns. Now I only did it on the one with this valve here. You'll notice the one in the back there is a little different. That's the only one I was concerned with. I could have did it with both. The cost is not much different, but these are the new Shark Bite. They're not overly new, but they're the Shark Bite for PVC. And what's good about these is you're not stuck with, you know, where your return is once you've glued it in place. So what I mean by that is when you use these Shark Bites, check this out guys. You can turn this. Now you want your flow going that way. You want your flow over here. You know, you can direct it any way you want. And that's a good luxury of using one of these, because you know, you're not, this one here, I knew I wanted it just firing down the front glass, but like this one's stuck, right? Because I've glued it. Can't change anything. But if you use one of these, you've got all the options in the world to change where your flow goes. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. They're handy to use in a situation like this. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're done the plumbing. Everything's working fine. And we're going to get into doing the electrical and getting everything set up. Okay guys, to start things off, I'll just show you guys a couple of things that we'll be setting up today. So you can see here, I have 2 of the kind of the last model EB8s. These things are bulletproof. I've had no issues with them. I have 3 on the other tank, 1 on the 150, and now 2 more. These things are bulletproof. That's why I'm still using them. I also have one of the newest bars, but I've heard a lot of problems with those, so I just don't have faith in them. So as long as I can get these ones, I use them. So we got those. I picked up the communication cable. This one's 15 feet long, and then the top one there is 6 feet long. And the reason being, I'm going to come through from the 150 gallon. I'm going to come through this wall here to an EB8 that'll be mounted on that wall. So I'll use the 6-footer for there, and then I'm going to run the other EB8. It's going to be all the way down at the far end down here, and I'll use a 15-footer to run from that EB8 over to the one down this far end. That's the reason for those. Obviously, we're going to be needing a ton of zip ties, and I'll just show you guys a bit of the install as I'm doing it, and then I'll probably take you through some of the programming I'm going to put on it. We'll go over to the computer and have a look at that as well. Alright, so we're going to get going. Alright guys, so here you have it. I just finished doing the install of all the electrical for the new Frag system. You can see here, we got the one EB8 down this end, and off of that our gyre, another Jabeo power head, we got the 2 Orphic bars, and then we also have the T5 lighting over the Fragtank. So this is that end completed. The Fragtank itself is completed, and then I'll bring you around to the other end where I'm kind of laying right now, and I will show you what I got going on down this end. It's not completed yet. I'm not going to complete it in this video. You'll have to come back and check out the next video, which you'll be able to see what we're going to be doing at this far end, but I'll show you what we got started anyways. So if I turn around. Okay guys, so here we are at the other end of the tank, or the stand. You can see got another EB8 mounted there, and I have a hole coming in from the other side. That's the communication cable coming in from my apex on the other side of that wall. I'm going to bring a couple other things through there and go to this EB8, and then of course the last portion of this project will be run off of that EB8 as well. So that's it in a nutshell. I didn't want to bore you guys with taking you through the actual me installing everything, but this is everything. So what I'll do now is I'll head over to the computer and I will show you guys the programming that I'm going to put on for this Fragtank and show you how I do it real quick. Alright, so now that we're finished the install on the Apex and we have all the electrical ready to go for the Frag system, I'm going to take you guys into the programming of my Apex or the EB8s, and I'll show you how simple it is to program up some of the outlets for that Fragtank. So this is my Apex here, you can currently see, and you know, that's my Fragtank and my 400. So we're going to click on the Fragtank and that takes you in here. So just so you guys are aware, this top section here where I'm pointing, this is all the EB8 for the 150 gallon, and then this next section here is for another tank, and then this bottom section here is where we're going to be concentrating today. This is all the outlets for the new Lowboy that we just installed. So I'll take you into some of the programming on these and I'll show you how simple it is. So we're going to start with 5.1. 5.1 I know is one of my Orphic bars. So you're just going to click on the little gear icon in the top and it's going to bring you in to where you can name your device. So I'm going to leave it as 5.1 and I'm going to name it Orphic, and we're going to leave the icon as a light. We're going to have the control type as a light, which is, you know, the easiest way to do it. The fallback is off. The on time, I want my on time to be 8 o'clock or 8 a.m. and we want the off time to be 2200, which would be 10 o'clock at night. So my Orphic bars run from 8 a.m. till 10 p.m. It's 14 hours. It's the same on all my systems. I run the blue lighting on very, very low intensity off of my Radeons, and or just a couple of Orphic bars I run for 14 hours a day. So shutdown, you can set them up to shut down based on the temperature probe, which you'll see here. That's what this section is. And you know, it's set at 81 degrees. Now my tanks usually run anywhere from 76.5 to 77.5 degrees. So I have it set, it actually is kind of a default setting, but it works for me. It's 81 degrees and it has a hysteresis of 1. So what that means is that 81 degrees, if the tank hits 81 degrees, it'll start shutting lighting down to try and help cool the tank down. It's a cool little additive that Apex has in here, and I do use it and set it up. I don't believe I've ever had the tank light shut off due to heat, especially because I run almost all LEDs. However, that's it, guys. That's how simple it is. Then you hit this little cloud icon up in the corner and you'll see it'll come up, and boom, there we go. Success. It has been programmed. So if we go back, you'll be able to see when we go down, there you are right there. The first outlet is now named Orphic and has been programmed. So now I can set that to auto, and it'll automatically turn those lights on and shut them off based on how I just programmed them. So number 2 is exactly the same thing. It's another Orphic light. We're going to leave it as a light, control type as a light. The fallback is off. We're going to have it come on, same thing, 8 o'clock. So I'll just change this to 8 o'clock. And then we're going to have it shut off at 22, which is 10 o'clock. The hysteresis is set exactly the same as it was on the last module we just did. You hit the cloud icon up top, and there you go. We've programmed that one as well. It's really that simple, guys. So now that we have the 2 Orphic bars programmed, I can set that one to auto as well. Now 5.5, that one there is my T5 lighting, and for my T5 lighting I'm just gonna put T5. Okay, that's what we're gonna name it, and we can change this little icon here. We can do light again, and under the control type we'll just go down, we'll choose light. Fallback is off, and the on time for my lighting, we want them to come on at 12. I want them to come on at 12 o'clock. And we're going to have them go off at 6 o'clock, which will be 1800. And then the hysteresis, I'm going to set to 81 degrees, just like the other lights. And that's it, guys. The T5 lighting is now programmed as well. So we just hit that cloud icon. Away we go. We'll go back. We're gonna go back down to that section, and we can set that one to auto. Now 4 and 5 are just simply power heads. So these ones here, they're going to be a little different. I'm just going to name them power head. And for this, I don't know, what are we going to put for an icon for this? Let's give it a thumbs. And this one, real easy. We're just going to put it into a state of always. Now this is, I'm going to show you guys the easiest way to do kind of a little workaround for doing some advanced programming, so you don't have to write everything right from scratch. So I'm going to put it in as always. And then the state here you can see is on. So in other words, what it's going to do is it's never going to turn these power heads off. So they're always on. So you hit the little cloud icon and you send that. Okay. That's done. So we'll go back, and then we can put that into auto, and that right now as it stands, that power head is always going to be off. So one thing I do with my power, I just said doo-doo again. One thing I do with my power heads on all my tanks is kind of a little line of code that just eliminates an annoyance that I'm sure everybody deals with on their tank. So what I'm going to show you guys is, now we just did that. So instead of leaving this as always, now if we go back in and we change it to advanced, for the next line of code here, we're just going to write in if outlet return, and you can see it already starts popping up, off, then off. Okay, so what this line of code is going to do, guys, where it says if outlet return off, then off. How many times do you guys shut your return pump down to do some kind of maintenance or whatever the case may be, a water change, and your power heads start, you know, doing that all over on the surface and blowing water around? What this line will do is the second that you turn that return pump to the off position in the apex to shut your return pump down, it will automatically shut the power heads off as well. So you don't have to worry about that happening. And then when you turn your return pump back on, the power heads will turn back on. Now you can even put a defer in here, defer 1 minute. Okay, so what that's going to do is when you turn your return pump on, it'll wait 1 minute before it'll turn your power heads back on. Just little things you can do to make your life a little easier and a lot less frustrating at times. So that's the power head, and we can go ahead and we can do the same thing to this one. Name that one power head as well. We'll just go to advanced right off the bat. Enter. If outlet return off, then off. Okay, so if outlet return off, then off, and that's gonna just shut that power head off in the case of in the case that you shut your return pump off, so you don't have that issue. Okay, so that's simple, and you can use that line of code. Now I use that line of code, that if outlet return off, then off. I use that on my skimmer. And I do defer the skimmer because, you know, when your sump level rises, if your return pump turns on and your skimmer turns on at the same time, your skimmer's going to overflow. So I'll defer the skimmer by 5 minutes, and then that allows time for your sump to come down, and then your skimmer doesn't overflow. So anytime, so I put that line of code in on my skimmers. I also put that line of code in on my heaters because, you know, I think we've all done it, where you forget to turn your heaters off and you're pumping water out of your sump to do a water change or whatever. You expose the heater, and next thing you know, you got a busted heater. So you just throw that line of code in there, and the second you turn your return pump off, the heaters are going to turn off as well. And then if you do expose them, you don't have to worry that you're going to bust them. And it's just a little redundancy, guys. I think it's a great line of code that you can put in for so many different things. Again, like I said, I do it for dosing pumps, skimmers, heaters, auto top off, because, you know, if you're, again, draining water out of your tank to do a water change, the last thing you want is your auto top off kicking on all the time, trying to top back off. So the second you turn that return pump off to do your water change, it's going to turn all this stuff off for you, and you won't have to worry about these things happening. So remember that line. If you're going to remember anything, if outlet, and then whatever you name your return pump, I just name it return. It makes it simple. But you'll have to put whatever the name of your return pump is there. So if it just is pump, or, you know, maybe you got named Vortex, or you have it named whatever, you put your return pump name there, off, then off. And it is a great little line of code for redundancy. So we're done with this one. We're going to send it. And there we go. And we can come down here. We can set that guy to auto as well. And then these last three outlets, 5, 3, 7, and 8, those are spares as of right now. I'm more than positive that I'll be adding something to these in the future. But for now, what I usually do is let's unlock them. And we'll just throw them up top. And then we'll drop her. And you drop them up top here. And then just throw them up top, and they can stay there until you need them. All right, guys, so that's it. That's the Fragtank. So we got the 2 Orific lights, we have the T5, and the 2 power heads. That is more or less the Lowboy Fragtank.
This is a different tank in the middle here that we're going to be talking about in different upcoming videos. And then of course this whole top section here is all the main 150 gallon system. And as you've seen in the plumbing videos and that, obviously it's all shared water, so a lot of the stuff that is up here also pertains to the lower tanks, which would be, you know, the carbon reactor or the calcium reactor, you know, the return pump. It's feeding both the tanks, the auto top off. So all these things are for both tanks. This is just stuff that we had to add for the Lowboy. So it makes it simple, but I did separate them up by these amp charts, so I would know which one was for which tank. So it just makes it a little easier for me to find the tabs when I'm looking for them. Alright guys, so that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Any questions pertaining to the Apex? By no means am I any kind of expert with the Apex, but you know, I do know a little bit, and if I can help you, I will. It really is a simple controller to use, and I love it. I own 2 of them, and you know, I couldn't live without them because these things have been a godsend for me. So but we're gonna leave it right there, guys, for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't already and you enjoy the content, please hit the like button below, smash that subscribe button. It really helps me and helps the channel grow. And as always, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. And until the next time, make sure you take care and happy reefing.